do feel better. And I knew that I would, honestly. Okay, now we can like finally apply our lips, touch these hoes up before getting started talking about whatever the fuck I feel like today. Because to be honest, I'm gonna challenge myself to do something that's kind of annoying to me as a perfectionist, and that is I'm gonna just record as many videos as possible and try and upload as many as possible and just fucking just get used to putting myself out there and not feel like I have to create like 10 of the greatest pieces of whatever in my life. I've been trying to do things as an exercise of just like doing it just to put myself out there, and it's been kind of nice. But okay, hold on. So one of the things I want to practice while I'm doing this is to use my most authentic voice possible. So I'm trying to learn how to like speak and actually use my actual voice. And another thing I'm learning, okay, so I don't have any like broadcasting experience. So I feel like I'm starting this off on a negative note. Hold on, let me get it. Okay, it's kind of like okay to be negative. Okay, period. Heard you. Because that's the honest fucking truth about how I feel. I feel all this stuff I want to create, all these things I want to talk about, all of these moments I want to have. But the skill set that's required, I've simply only done a couple things that could have prepped me for something like this. Like when I think of all my broadcasting experience, I think of doing the morning announcements in high school, which I did make a splash there because my Spanish teacher dared me. I used to do the morning announcements in a British accent, but sitting there looking at the camera, and they had a full studio set up, and the teacher that ran it told me that he liked my voice for broadcasting purposes, just like the pitch of it was good. My voice sounds different now than it did when I was in high school, but I think that is still true. I think I still have a pretty sexy voice when I'm not trying. Like right now, I feel like I'm trying to project, and that starts to make it feel a little weird. But I also feel like I don't use my real voice often enough that when I actually do, it actually hurts my throat. And this is because of the job that I had for a long time, like working in the club and working as a sex worker. Like, oh my God, I wonder if I probably have videos of me using Valentine's voice, but it's so much more like, hi, how are you guys doing tonight? No way. For real? No way. You're so silly. Oh my God, stop. It's like up there. Am I real like trashy dykish self? Like I don't sound like that. So I'm trying to figure out what I actually sound like. Because I'm rediscovering myself, which is fine. You gotta go through like many stages of that. I'm rediscovering myself after like a long period of time of a lot of the same things being true. Okay, so having the same job for several years. I had an IUD for several years, and that affects you like emotionally and hormonally, and so like I feel a change with that. Being in Florida is different. Being a spiritualist is different. Like I feel like I'm in this is like my second phase of adulthood. Like there was a big portion of who I was in my early 20s. Now this portion of life in my late 20s feels like preparation for my 30s and 40s, which feel like it might be one chunk of time. What I have learned in my 20s is to not have too many hard set things, expectations in my head for what I want out of the next portion of my life, because you have no idea where life is going to go. And if you want your life to go in a good way, you have to relinquish a little bit of control, because what are the odds that a 28-year-old knows what the best life for a 35-year-old is going to be? I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel there. I have completely changed how I feel about marriage, kids, and career just in my 20s. So I have like no idea how I'm going to feel in my 30s about all of the big categories of life. I also don't know where my spiritual journey is going to evolve to. I don't know how my family is going to change. I don't know how you don't know anything. Like you literally don't know anything. But I would like to set some goals for myself that differ from the goals that I had in my 20s now that I am a fucking grown up and I have an idea of how the world works. I got an idea. I wonder if I'll get banned for using this. No, it wouldn't even work anyway. I was gonna put you guys on this lighter that has my friend's ass cheeks on it, but I was like realizing that my fucking finger hurts. What the fuck is going on with me? I am going through like a multi-year period of having a lot of things I want to make, getting started on them, and then being like, oh no, this is super scary, I hate this, and I'm not healed enough to do this shit yet, and then like that just being that. But so I've been starting and stopping a lot of things, which is not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun when the thing that you enjoy in life is accomplishing things. To start, learn, stop, and never actually publish or produce anything is like for a fucking Capricorn that all I want is like a really beefed up fucking ecstatic's not the right word. Exciting, impressive resume. And this is the work of decolonization. This is the work of taking capitalist ideals out of my mind. So this period of time of just being goopy and like figuring it out, more specifically like my ethics and my morals and the things that like I want out of life, that is like I'm kind of like going in a circle. I have to look at my life in a different light now that I am working consciously to not push myself towards capitalist goalposts. And now the freer my mind gets, the more it's like, okay, now I have to decide like what it is I want out of life. If I'm not going to have the traditional like markers, then like what do I want to get out of this life? So what do I feel like? I feel like this lifetime is extremely important and just a speck of who I am as an energy being in general. Like I look at myself and I'm like, I know I've existed many lifetimes before this, and I might reincarnate on Earth a couple times after this. I don't really know. But one thing to get out of the fucking way that I want to make abundantly fucking clear, and I'm sure I'll say this in like other videos, but I do not believe in right now, today, in September, October, November 2026. So I might change. I do not believe in any universal laws. I do not think that there are any universal truths or universal laws in the universe. I feel like what we put out is what then becomes true, which means there's a million, bajillion, unnumbered, you couldn't even count how many possibilities there are, how many truths there are out there. You could probably never even number the amount of deities that exist. The spirit world is so wide and vast, and for some reason, our memory of it is so skewed, and it's a process to like muck through all of that and be able to touch the world outside of our world, to be able to experience the dimension outside of our dimension. It requires tools, it requires conscious ability, it requires random shit. So no one fucking knows, and that makes things a little bit complicated, because for me, I feel as though the most important thing we can do with our lifetime is identify what is evil and try to overcome it with good for the betterment of all things. Now, this doesn't mean just humans. This means all things within our entire universe, to raise the frequency and the vibration of those things. When we say frequency and vibration, it's a way of connecting what we know about light and energy matter with emotions and feelings. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. The thing about language is we're not really able to nail down these concepts. I also would say that I am a rudimentary species. I feel quite primitive when it comes to being able to understand these things. And I think having that level of, I guess, humility makes me feel like I am accomplishing something different than my male predecessors. Male philosophers and psychologists and thinkers and writers and this, that, and the third love to try and like nail down a theory and be like, this is a universal truth that goes for all things. And we have known that ideas and concepts have their time. And typically, in this human world, we hold on to things a little bit longer than we should just because they are what is familiar. For me, that is not an option because nothing like me has ever existed on this planet before. Do you think a couple thousand years ago, someone from one side of the earth had a baby with someone from the other side of the earth, and then that baby grew up in this empire? Now, they were going through their own completely unique life situation there. But in the cycles that humanity goes through, I'm kind of the beginning of a newer cycle. So the things in the last cycle don't really apply to me that well. Um, there's very little philosophy from male thinkers that I feel is relevant and applies to my lifetime. So there's that. Religion, I respect a lot of traditional religion. I respect that there are practices that have been used for a long time because they work. But when things aren't working anymore, I'm kind of like, I don't really know why we're still doing this. I feel like change and evolution is what makes humanity so great. That we're moving forward. And hopefully we're moving in the right direction. But either way, we are evolving, we are moving forward. I think that's cool. I support that. Losing shit is kind of whack. Like, my culture is completely lost to me. My culture is America. I am fully completely American. I will never understand Vietnamese culture on an intimate level. I will never be Mexican. I will never be anything that my grandmothers were. I simply won't. I already do not have children or a husband at the age that they did, so I already do not relate to their lives. But I also don't have them in my life, which is also very rare. To not have the people who came before you next to you, it's like, what path do you even walk? So I'm completely free to walk in any direction I so please. And this was the path that was given to me by the universe because of, for whatever reason. So there's a lot in me that wants to do things for the applause, do things to be seen, to be known, to be praised, for people to be proud of me, to be impressive, to be one of a kind, to be remarkable. And there's another larger part of me that understands so much of that comes from competition culture. And so much of that comes from a male dominated world that wants us to feel like we have to compete for our needs to be met when most of our needs are boiled down to an emotion that you want to feel. I want to feel what I think it will feel like to live in a house like Drake's. I want to feel what I think it will feel like to own a horse stable and be able to go riding whenever I want and wake up at whatever time I want. I think that these things will make me feel better. And I do think that it is true. I don't know. But the thing is, I have the actual proof that I know that there are things that I want and work and move towards that when I get there, it does not give me the sensation that I was hoping for it to give me. So I can't assume that ever again I am going to make the perfect choice and move towards things that I know are going to produce like perfect joy and happiness within me. But I'm also learning to understand my expectations and also take care of myself mentally. I think when I shouldn't say take care of myself mentally as if it was like something I was neglecting. I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the tools, and I didn't have the resources to be able to understand what was wrong with me when what I'm thinking of specifically, the example that I'm thinking of is I really, really thought that traveling the world and going on all these like hot crazy adventures was the fucking end all fucking be all. Like that's it. Like you need to be a party girl. You need to go to every corner of the fucking earth and drink your fucking socks off, okay? And see all the greatest art, go to all the best museums, go to all the best parties, kiss the hottest boys, flirt with the hottest girls, and just be fucking outside, just like excited, just enjoying life. Take great photos, have a great Instagram, like be fucking somebody people will fucking envy because your life is fucking bomb as fuck. And it's like you be there and you're sad. Like that's how I felt. Like I felt like the feeling that I feel laying in my bed at home when my chest feels full of darkness and heavy, and I'm like yo, like like just like every bad thought you could ever have starts going through your head, and then you feel like that in the club, and you feel like that looking at a sunset in Italy, and then you feel like that, you know, writing in Greece and having a drink in Cabo, and you're like, I thought I was gonna come here and I was gonna feel like I'm in a fucking music video and just feel fucking light as a fucking feather and just beautiful and amazing. And that does happen, and that has happened. That's how gambling works. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but when you're losing, the thought of winning someday is what fucking pulls you in, and you're like, oh, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep trying. Whatever. So, I guess I'll shoot for goals and not fucking threaten to kill myself if I don't accomplish them and reach those spots, because now I'm trying to collaborate with the universe more about the things that I want out of life. And so I'm trying to trust something outside of myself that it will lead me in a direction that is good, even if like I might not think so because I have limited vision. Out of all my spiritual gifts, the ability to perceive the future is the most shaky, okay? Like, I don't really... I'll see some shit and it'll feel, like, real as a motherfucker. I have been able to manifest my reality and create certain things in my life with my own magic, but I have also not. Like, I have also put manifestations out there and they haven't come to fruition. And some of them have been disappointing and some of them have been a happy miracle. Like, I'm glad it didn't work out. But what I'm saying is it's not an exact science. It's not something that I think that I can master. But what I would like to master in this lifetime is something around group magic. And I hesitate to say that because I know how brujeria and magic and powerful spiritual practices have been oppressed in the past because they threaten dominant power structures. So I like hesitate to say that. I promise I won't overthrow the government, but if we were able to take back a little bit of our power using the natural materials around us, using the power of our mind, which has been already infected, okay? Don't think you're the only clear thinker in the fucking world. That's another thing with humility. Do not think that you are safe and scot-free from fucking propaganda thinking. There are a lot of ideas and ideals and concepts that you take as universal laws and truths, everybody across the board, not just Americans, and they are fucking bullshit. It's lies that were subliminally fed to you to be able to keep you in certain types of loops that benefit somebody else. But that's not that radical to say that. Like, a lot of people would agree with that, you know. That's not that conspiracy wise, but I would like to be able to help us pull back a little bit of our power. And I think where I'm learning that right now is financial power. Having the power to have resources for myself, to take care of myself first and foremost, primarily. This is something that I have had to reintroduce to myself, and I only could have ever discovered through sex work. Sex work is what taught me that having resources and money to take care of yourself and defend yourself is a good thing to do. It is something your family should be very proud of. It is something you should be very proud of. To have money and be able to take care of yourself, feed yourself, clothe yourself, house yourself in this economy, in this state of the world in America, as a single woman, that is a really powerful, good thing. And I went into the world at 18, going to school to help other people, going to school for social work, thinking, you know, it's okay if I don't make any money as long as, like, you know, I'm happy or whatever. But I had a very privileged upbringing where I never experienced being hungry. I never experienced being cold. I never experienced what it would be like to not be resourced. So experiencing that as an adult and feeling like, you know what, I gotta just push through it because everyone else at work is also on food stamps and fucking eating ramen noodles and getting up early and fucking killing their fucking bodies and just fucking pedal to the metal just to help these people who spit in our faces all day long. Like they're doing it, like I need to do it too. And then by the grace of God, you know, you just have the right sequence of experiences that helps you to realize. Like I talked to this social worker who is a pro-choice worker activist in like Utah or something, like a really hard state to be in for that type of work. And she was talking about how social workers should not aspire to be martyrs, because that is why you then get burnt out, and then you also just become another motherfucker that needs help. And I was like, right, I feel like I'm at work, I'm like, damn, I'm signing you up for food stamps, motherfucker, I need some. Like, and that's the fucking goddamn truth. Like, that's really how it is. Like, I really was like working in State Department buildings, you know, writing fucking memorandums about goddamn drug use in fucking Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, I'm fucking geeked out, because how the fuck am I supposed to handle having this job, having another job that actually pays, and just surviving fucking life while I'm fucking mentally fucking ill without fucking substance abuse? Like, what in the actual fuck? Like, I'm smoking a goddamn cigarette, I need it, but like, I literally, girl. So I feel like innocence lost is knowledge gained. A large part of me is so sad to give up this piece of myself that has this unrelenting naivete about her, where she's like, you know what, you just like put in all the work, and then like you'll help people, and like those people will be so grateful, and people will clap for you, and it'll be awesome. I am the first do-gooder, maybe not the first, but I'm a motherfucking do-gooder. I will tell you the goddamn truth, that the praise and the status of like, I'm a good person, like I do good things for people, is a large driving motivating factor. And people will fucking lie to your goddamn face and not tell you that. Like, should I say your goddamn face, your god blessed face, but literally, like, you work with people in politics, policy, social work, psychology, therapists, fucking school teachers, all these fucking people. There are plenty of people who love to just do it, and they got a good heart in them, and they just want to help. But there are a lot of people, myself included, I'm willing to fucking say it, that other people seeing them doing good things is just a big part of it. And oh my god, like, you can't, I mean, politics, obviously, like when you're in the political sphere, no matter what, like you could be working with like NGOs or fucking whatever, like tons of people that just like really need a good Facebook post, like really need people to know that they're doing something. And I think my desire to help other people, it comes from a place of being born with, I don't know what to put it, like I'm moving towards being a shaman. It is something that I might not truly feel like I am sitting in and working in until late in my life. I feel like it's knowledge and it's wisdom, and I wouldn't claim to have those things in my 20s. I would love to be able to access all that I've been before this lifetime, and to be able to say like, I am 3,012 years old, even though I'm only 29, and I am able to say this or do this or decipher this or blah blah. But I have a lot of my own healing to do before I could ever really imagine being like an actual fucking shaman, dude. Like, what the fuck? But it is something that I'm willing to work towards. Like, it is something that I respect the process. I feel like it, I mean, it makes me happy. It makes me feel like a samurai. Like, I'm like, oh, I gotta spend 20 years fucking studying and learning and, you know, honing my craft to be able to help other people and move energy and to enhance other people's lives, whatever that may look like at that point in time. But so there's that part of why I like to help people, just because I was born with that on me, and I was asked if I wanted to, you know, cultivate this ability, and I said yes. Like, I said yes to the journey. So now it's something like I'm just embarking on. But so I was born, and that was like a part of like who I am when I was born. So there's that. But the other part of why I wanted to help people, and why that became a huge part of my personality and what I felt like was my mission on earth, is I felt like it made me different. I felt like when I went to church, everyone was in competition to have the worst story. Like, the pity parade was serious. I used to say it was like a competition, like who has it the worst, like who, like, oh, your mom has cancer and you have an eating disorder, and your dad left when you guys were young, and your parents are divorced. And it was like people all had their problems and really, really needed attention for those problems in middle school. And it was around that time. I remember the exact day. I remember exactly. It was one of those fucking weird exercises they make you do at youth group, and we were sitting in a circle and people were going around like saying like, I don't know, like say the worst thing that's ever happened to you, like something weird. And people were sharing their stories, and it was like each kid was trying to outdo the last one, and it just felt so fake to me. But I recognized that they were crying actual tears. Like, they may have felt like they had to embellish a little bit to justify like how upset they were about to be, because it's a healing necessary thing. And in shamanism, I could understand that being a good thing, but I feel like the Christians didn't really carry it out that well, like a healing ceremony circle, where it's like we put all of this grief out there and then we ask something above us to come and to heal it. I feel like that would have been a good idea, but it was like they weren't really praying over us that hard. Like, I didn't feel the Holy Spirit was really with us that strongly. I felt like it was like teenagers helping other teenagers, which always gets a little messy. But I digress. They were trying. And so I just felt like, okay, like this is some fake bullshit, so I don't want to participate, but also I know these people actually really needed to get this cry out. So I went to the bathroom and I got tissues for everybody, and I was like handing out tissues, and I just like conveniently made sure I was like walking around and like, you know, hugging other people and comforting them by the time the circle got to like my spot. And so they skipped me. And I remember the feeling of that, of being like, oh, I helped people, and you know, I got to do it my way and my own different thing, and I just really liked that feeling. And I remember, I think I even wrote it in one of my journals. I was like, today I decided I am not going to be the one that burdens other people with my problems all the time. I'm going to be the one that is there trying to help other people, because other people need comfort. Like I always say, people either need a kick in the butt or a hug. Like, you either need like a little motivation, someone to be like, get the fuck up, or you need someone to be like, you know what, you're right, it sucks, I'm sorry. And so I was like, I want to be that person, and that's just like who I want to be. That's like my what I want to get out of life. And in doing so, I have realized that when you, not in all cases, but when you try sometimes to help other people, you are blocking them from their own lessons and their own karma. Now, this is not about systemic issues. I would love to participate in solving systemic issues in my lifetime. I'm not talking about education around racism and homophobia and trying to help people who perpetuate those harms to understand something and to maybe grow a little bit and be a little bit more loving and understanding. I think doing things on a large scale level like that is good. But individual shit, like helping motherfuckers that need some money, need a ride, need a place to stay, this, that, and the third. Doing all those motherfucking favors in my 20s when I was motherfucking poor, okay? And we're in America. No one's hurting that motherfucking bad. People really will ride that goddamn victim train. And now I've learned. Now I'm another one of those fucking jaded ass fucking adults that's like, whoa, like, like, and I still help people when I shouldn't. I still get myself fucked over all the time. It happens all the time. The majority of my friendships here in Florida, like putting energy and effort into other people, and that actually being the reason that they find a way to fuck me over financially, friendship wise, like I knew, like, for example, somebody was living with me and my car broke down, and they were like, hey, I really need money off of rent. I could fix your car, like, and then you give me like a little money off of rent. And I was like, nah, like, I don't really, like, are you sure you know what you're talking about? Like, nah. And then they really like convinced me, and like over like several months was like, please, like, I promise, like, I will take good care of it. This is what I will do. This is the process I'll go through, you know, to keep it cheaper for you, and we'll order it off eBay and blah, 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 blah. I already have the equipment. Like, please, like, I really need a break. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like, if I could trust you, fine. And that motherfucker ended up fucking selling shit off my motherfucking car, not actually taking the money that he used. Like, he got a little money off of rent, But then I also gave him even more money off rent to cover some parts. And then he ended up not even buying those parts. So he got like double what he actually was asking for, and bounced on me for rent, like just disappeared in the middle of the night, like before the one rent payment. So like didn't even give me notice. And I ended up missing out on like, I want to say like $1,400, $2,000 or something. But more than that, now my car's actually fucked. So I spent all that money when I could have actually put that towards an actual mechanic. So now I really just don't have a fucking car. And yeah, that shit was just fucked up. So I just like didn't have a car. And he also left the fucking transmission in the rain. So when I did actually take it to the mechanic, get it fixed, I spent another $3-4 grand there. And then it shit out 3 months later. He was like, yeah, I mean, like, your fucking transmission was rusty, dog. Like, what the fuck did you expect? And I'm like, damn. Like, and it took me a while to find people. He left a bunch of shit in the house. I had to fucking clean it out myself. Like, it was just a mess. It was like, he left glass in my fucking yard, like all this shit. And it was like, you begged me for an opportunity for me to be able to help you, and you lied like a motherfucker the whole entire time. And not even like normal type lies, like empathy button pressing ass lies of just like, and I'm like always so like, just, I feel like embarrassed to tell this story because it's like, damn, I'm dumb. But it's like, I don't know, like, he just told me over a series of times, like, you know, I don't have any family, like, I'm really just trying to get like a good start for myself, like, I'm moving up at work, like, I've been working really hard, like, I'm trying to fucking, you know, show this boss that I can do this, and then I'll be able to do more projects, like, and just being my friend the whole time, you know, like, smiling in my face, knowing damn well what he was doing. And I saw a meme that said someone it's like, I'm lying like a kid from foster care. And I was like, yeah, that's that kid. Because literally, like, we get it. You grew up in foster care, you lying ass bitch. But literally, so there's that. And there's, like, so many other situations like that happen. And it's like, I realized I had a reading prior to that happening, within, like, 6 months of that happening, where it was like, you should not run to help people when they're crying out for help. Because you will end up incurring the problems that they are. So whatever problems are chasing them are going to catch you. And so he needed to learn financial responsibility. And what did I end up learning? Financial responsibility. So I can't put myself in this position to try and help other people when I myself am not in this beautiful, amazing position. And I also realized that just now going to Ukraine. Like, I had all these plans and ideas of things I wanted to be able to do, but I just didn't have the resources or the planning for it when I actually got there. And that was a waste of the resources I did have. I learned a lot. I don't regret it. I feel like it definitely taught me, like, you can't just have a hope and a prayer and run forward and be like, yeah, you know what, like, I'll just figure it out when I get there. Especially not when it comes to fucking war, brother. Like, what are you gonna do? You're like, oh, I'll just figure it out when I get there. No, the fuck you won't, because you won't have access to the things that you need. You need equipment, you need tools, you need editors, you need a team, you need weaponry, you need stuff. And that all costs fucking money, brother. So, like, what? So, yeah, having this, like, oh, it'll all work out, like, hopeful attitude, that's another one of those naive things that I'm throwing away. And I'm thankful to let go of my former self and feel like, you know, she was so hopeful and so motivated, and she believed that anything was possible, and she believed that she didn't need to seek reward for anything she was doing, that the reward would come, or that you just, you know, make it to heaven with a couple more karma points or whatever. Like, I just fully believed that you could just have a job where it's like, I'm just being a good person professionally or whatever, and I just want to help other people, and, you know, my life will be good because of that. And it's like, a lot of those jobs that are about helping other people put a lot on you emotionally and physically, and they don't fucking pay. So it's hard to help yourself at the same time. I don't blame younger me for not knowing these things, because obviously I had to go and live my life to find them out. Like, I have worked at the Office of Homeless Prevention. I have worked at a clean needle site in North Philadelphia. I've worked in a prison. I've worked at a refugee site. I've worked in politics. I worked in Harrisburg at the Department of Health with the policy office, being able to see how legislation moves health policy. I've been in these places, I've been in these rooms, and I never held like any type of like big serious position or anything, but I got to be there as a young person learning, and people are always, excited to like let you in on stuff and teach you and give you little speeches about like how things work. And you are young. I was young and I absorbed a lot, and I've been in those spaces, been in those rooms, and been like, whoa, okay, I don't have the capacity for this right now, so I need to go be with myself and grow. And so that's what I've done. Still working on it. I shouldn't put it like that. I have a lot that I think would be prudent to do and to grow and to become and heal and all these things before jumping into another project that is for something outside of myself, as well as like any project. I'm really trying to hold myself back because there's always some shit that I want to do. Like I just met someone in a harm reduction collective out here, and I was like so gung-ho to volunteer and to be with them. I think they have such an awesome anarchist model being like how they make their money and how they spend it. I think it's phenomenal. And I was like, well, I literally just told myself like I need to take time for myself. Like I need to work a job and buy myself nicer clothes. Like I need to do some decorating in my house. I need to, do things for my life. Like I don't have a car. Like I don't have a big savings. Like I don't have a lot of excess. And I saw something say you're not supposed to give from an empty cup, but you're also not supposed to give from a halfway full cup, and you're also not supposed to give from a 98% full cup. You be thinking your cup is pretty much full, so therefore you can go and you can help other people, but what you're actually supposed to do is fill your cup so that it overflows and other people can receive the overflow. And what that made me realize was I don't even know what it feels like to be full. I don't know what it feels like to go several weeks in my life without any financial strain and my laundry be folded, and to have enough groceries, and to have enough time off to feel like I feel really relaxed and I feel really healthy and I feel really good, and I'm going to the gym consistently and all these things. Like it's always kind of like life is chasing me and I'm chasing after it, and I feel very much so that I am not fully in the rat race, because I had a freelance job for like 6-7 years. But as far as like always running, I don't feel full. Like I don't feel like my life is as together as it could be if I was pouring into just myself, which is crazy because I have been a fucking gung-ho motherfucking feminist this whole motherfucking time, okay? Where I feel like I have really prioritized being with myself and taking care of myself and knowing myself. I spend so much time by myself. I spend all my time with myself, honestly. Like I have like a couple friends down here, but I don't have a best friend that I spend like a lot of time with, like multiple days a week or anything like that. Like I maybe see one of my friends like once a month, and I know that's like most adults, but I also don't really fuck with people from like work and stuff like that. That's a fucking lie. I don't even know why I said that. I totally am friends with like people from every job I've ever had. I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just being emo. But yeah, I do feel my priorities changing as far as that. I feel like it is time to be closer to my family. It's time to move and be closer to my family and spend time with the people that love me, because like there's actually nothing else. Like there's literally nothing else. You could be a millionaire, multimillionaire on the beach in Greece and have everything you could ever want, but if you are by your motherfucking self, you are just by your motherfucking self. Like that's it. especially being a sex worker, I've definitely met people that have that lifestyle that everybody dreams of, and they would give it all up for a partner and some kids, and to just like have people that miss them when they're gone, like somebody to come home to. That's really what everybody wants. I always say, like, everybody at the club like wishes they were Netflix and chilling with their boo right now. Like, nobody wishes that they were out here dressed up, listening to loud music, drinking alcohol with strangers. Like, they would so much prefer to be in their jammies at home, cuddled with their boo, and to know their boo loves them, and have that Jada and Will love. Like, it's literally that simple. Everybody's sad. Everybody in the club is sad. So, how do I feel about the state of the world? Right now, I feel like we're going through a big transition, and that's really scary, and it's a lot of chaos, and there's nothing solid to stand on. We know that the systems we are a part of do not want to help us. They want to harm us. They want to oppress us. They want to steal our labor. They want to steal our intellectual ideas. They want to control our minds. They want every second of our time to be dedicated to advertising and to being a good little consumer and spending as much money as possible. And so we know that, like, the world's a fucking mess, but it's kind of like always like that because humans are a mess. But I don't think it's going to get any worse by taking a little space from the activist community right now. I miss it. I miss being involved. I miss the fulfillment that it brings. But the meditation practice that I have right now and stripping myself of colonialism, colonial ideas, colonizer mindset things, capitalism things. Like, I'm trying to like decapitalize my fucking brain, and like that's like a lot of meditative work. The implementation, the practice of it is every day. And yeah, things are gonna continue to be a little crazy, but I believe, based on my, I don't know, belief system, you could call it, that we're in the middle of a big chaotic upheaval that precedes a coming together. And hopefully it's an elevation of some sort. Like, I would love to see the human race get more in touch with our psychic abilities and raise the vibration by being in stronger communion with the spirit world, to have a closer concept of our deities and what they want from us and how they can help us. And I would really like it if one of the big ones, like, like the big God or Jesus, or, like whoever wants to come down here and like fix this shit, because like lots of people are dying, but genocides have happened a lot of times in the human race, and no God has ever heard our prayers. So that's kind of whack. On a philosophical level, writing wise and just meditation wise, like just going within and trying to tap into knowledge that exists out in the interwebs of the universe, like something bigger than myself. I would love to be able to research options. I say I would love to as if I'm not already doing this, but this is something that I ask in meditation a lot, which is, what is the cause of human suffering? Like, what is the reason why we harm each other? Why do people have to be murdered in mass and starved and forced into slavery and oppressed? And what little mishap is going on that is causing that to be possible in this realm? Is it a biological issue? Do humans have something in them that is just hardwired for killing and destruction and chaos and competition and greed? So, like, explore whatever that would mean. Is it the gods? Like, are there evil gods and they are tricking people into thinking that being evil is like a good thing? Like, are they whispering in the ears of folks and being like, hey, like, this was what will get you to heaven, and it's fucking just being an evil fuck. And the gods are playing us against each other, something like that. Yeah, I won't even go down the list of my theories because none of them really land that well, in my opinion. Like, I don't think I've come even close to understanding what is the fucking problem and how do we fix it. And obviously that's a pretty big fucking ask, and the universe has been telling me lately, I'm not really responsible with the information that they give me, allegedly. And that's like the goddamn truth, because like when I see something that has to do with myself, or like whenever I see something that has to do with like the future, something to do with the whole world, something to do with my life, like I have a tendency to expand upon it and dramatize it a little bit and become like a little bit obsessed with it. Be like, oh my god, I just found out like this really crazy thing, like now this is the thing that gives my days meaning. And it can kind of be something that's like one and done, like it just kind of passes by. But it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like I'll be like, oh my god, I just discovered this new thing about myself and about the universe, and like this changes everything. And like just be like, I don't know, too much with it. Like I can understand why the universe doesn't tell us everything, because like we kind of like run with shit, because I'm not, I don't know, like I'm not fully built out yet. Never mind. I don't really agree with that. As soon as I said it, I'm like, I think everything I have, everything I need, I already have. Like I'm just kind of like whole and complete and perfect right now. Like I can do anything right now. But the process of healing the trauma off this little body is definitely a whole thing. That's something else I've been thinking about a lot lately and working through as well in my meditative practice, is cellular trauma. I realized in Ukraine that when I was in my mother's uterus and she was in her mother's uterus, when I was just an egg cell, I was there during the Vietnam freaking War with my grandmother. And all three of us together in one body experienced bombs dropping, buildings burning down, lives being changed, a complete upheaval of a society. And the trauma of birth and the trauma of giving away the child that has been birthed under such duress, under such conditions as wartime. And we went through that. We went through that together. 3 different generations in one lineage, in one body. We experienced it together. And so I was born with that. Before I was even a twinkle in my mother's eye, for many years, I was a cell in her body. And I had that trauma wired into me. And there's a lot of other things that have happened to me in this lifetime. Not a lot, but like there's some other things that have happened to me in this lifetime that have contributed to the trauma that is on my body. And the trauma on my body is like scars that are inside me, in my nervous system, in my neck, in my back, in my organs, in my fascia, in my brain. And it affects who I am. It affects my signal capabilities. It affects my ability to hear and perceive things from the other side of the veil. It affects my ability to connect with other spirits, including human beings. It affects my social reasoning. It affects my cognitive reasoning. It's just like a big part of my life. So, want to heal that. Working through that. But that's exciting. That's really good. I'm glad that I even know about that, like, being a thing. What I feel like right now, I feel like I want to create so many different types of videos, but right now I kind of just wanted to force myself to come on here and give a fucking life update. And I'm so thankful to everybody that gives a fuck. And the thing about it, and I'm gonna just be like just so honest right now, is, and I know I already said like, oh, my ability to perceive the future is like kind of fucked up, but this is one that I actually do know for sure, because I got like a deity confirmation. Like some things come in as kind of like messages, and I've never been wrong about like something of this level. Some like messages that come in kind of like hazy, foggy, like you get like image, or you get a color, or you get a song, or you get a feeling, and you just kind of like, you got to interpret it yourself. There's that. And then there's a full on conversation where you can speak to something that is a spirit on the other side, and they can just give you the fucking lowdown of what is going on. In those, I have realized that a successful YouTube channel is going to be what propels me in a lot of other artistic spaces, but just like opportunities in general. Like, it might also be political, it might also be travel, it might also be just whatever. But that making my videos and saying what I have to say and doing what I got to do and just like whatever is something that is going to be very fruitful and good for me. And so I've already seen that, and I've already been told that, and I've already been fucking prodded like a fucking cow to fucking do it, because I'm like, oh, I need to like do this, do that. Like, I want to map out what I'm going to say. I want to fucking, you know, make sure I'm giving something helpful. And then I realized, like, I don't want to brand myself like a fucking guru. Like, all my ideas started being like, how to do this, how to do that. And it's like, I don't know how to do any motherfucking thing. Like, I'm just another fucking scumbag like you. But I have learned you got to make art that is the type of thing you want to ingest. And I love some niche YouTube shit. I have learned so much from observing other humans on the internet. So much so, it has disrupted my perception of reality, truthfully. So, anyways, I think that's all I really want to say. What else? Love being the highest frequency in the world is also not a universal law or truth that I accept into my life. Only because I know there are belief systems that, like, Gnosticism, I think it's called, not agnostic, Gnosticism and the demurers and all that shit. There's a concept that love is this sensation that not so nice entities like to use on our nervous system to give us the sensation of love and that feeling of love, because that is something that is a big motivator for humans. And so they'll use that to manipulate us to go through spiritual loops that benefit them, and they can harvest our energy, but that are bad for us, obviously, or manipulate us to do evil bidding using the sensation and the feeling of love. Like, people think love is just like, oh, you feel love, and like, it's just like, that's just a good thing, just universally. I don't think that's true, because on a quantum level, I just believe that every single belief has a little bit of truth to it, because when you believe it, now suddenly it's true. So if enough people believe something, that put the energy out there into the universe, so now that something has teeth and has little legs to stand on, so now it exists. So that being said, I don't really have like a loving cutesy sign off of like, oh, I hope, like, you know, I love you guys, like, love you. Like, I do, because I really want to love the whole world, everybody, regardless of whatever. But I guess I'll try, and I will sign off in my own way. Okay, ready? Spirit, thank you for the opportunity to sit here and to talk with my collective. Whatever blessings they're looking for, whatever they're going through right now, I pray that you'll be there with them. Cover them in love and let them know that they're never alone, that there will always be little signs, that there will always be something on its way to show them that there is bright and more days ahead. Bright more? What the fuck? Like, what am I saying? Bright and more days ahead. So you don't have to feel like you gotta figure everything out today. There's so much more time ahead of you. There's so much more to learn. There's so much more to grow. But today, right now, you are perfect. And you're figuring it out. And so I hope that this could be a blessing to you. I hope all the other blessings in your life that are coming towards you come to you swiftly and with ease. Much love. And yeah. Thank you, universe. Thanks for being with us. And stay woke, y'all.